Doom, 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 doom. Hello and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live pen show. This light is always creeping into frame. We really need to make sure it's not. So welcome to the show tonight. I'm fired out of a cannon this evening. Lots going on. Super excited. Great to see everyone. Hello to all the usual suspects in the chat. If you join us regularly, there's wonderful conversations always going on in the chat. It's always a lot of fun to check in, make some new friends, and I think kind of the theme of the Hemingway Jones show is to make some friends. So I hope that you will join us regularly. Regularly, indeed. So I think I just put myself on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, just making sure that my second camera looks good. So, welcome to our little corner of the internet, and we have a very, very exciting show for you this evening, and I think it requires a little bit of explanation, but I think you're going to like tonight's show because I think it'll be very fast-moving and a lot of fun. So, why do I say that? Because we're going to do a live tonight. It's super, super fun to do a live review. And tonight we're featuring the Coffee House Retro 51, a limited edition from Gold Spot Pens, which Tom Oddo was very lovely. He sent me an email and he said, would you be interested in seeing one of these pens? And I said, sure, I would be delighted. And he sent it along, and today is the release date. The pen comes out today, which is very exciting. And it's a limited edition, limited to 250. I'm not sure which number mine is, but it'll be fun to pull it out, take a look at it, talk a little bit about Retro 51, which I've discussed before on the channel, and we'll touch on some of those points again. We'll ink it up with a very cool ink that probably could be a candidate for a part 2 of Dark Academic Inks. It's got a cool name, a lot of associations I can grab. If you're a fan of the channel, you know I love narratives, I love history, I love to take the associations of names and the history and put it in with the video. And many of my reviews, many of my videos intertwine many narratives and voices. It's not just a straightforward pen review. In fact, I kind of hate straightforward pen reviews. I find them very tedious and boring, and I don't want to bore you. I am here to entertain you. Are you not entertained? Because that's my goal. So let me know. Oh, hey, Chris Sines is here. Always lovely to see Chris. And I see Allie J too. Allie J, who I speak to quite a bit on Instagram. Lots of fun going on at Instagram as well. So if you kind of want a different take, you can also catch me on Instagram. All right, so we are going to do that. There's a few things I just want to talk about first before we get into the pen review, although we're going to do it very quickly. But I wanted to mention something that I was super excited about, and I wanted to share it with you all. It's not fountain pen related, but it's awesome. And that is that Netflix put up G-1. So I was super excited. If you don't know what G-1 is, it's a movie about Godzilla that was made in Japan, and it's more the traditional Godzilla, not the kind of overblown Hollywood Godzilla, but more rooted in story and I was going to say reality, but I can't make that argument. But it's certainly an interesting, fun, dramatic, satisfying Godzilla movie, which transcends the genre. Just a really enjoyable period piece that happens to have a giant lizard in it that's recognizable. If I wanted to make one criticism, I'd say his roar wasn't quite my favorite Godzilla roar. I kind of love that traditional Godzilla roar. It's similar, it's good. It wasn't a deal breaker, but they could have done a little better with the roar of Godzilla. But I was super excited to watch it. My wife and I watched it. It was so fun. And here's the thing that I really enjoyed about it. Remember Jurassic Park, how the first Jurassic Park just gave you this fantastic sense of wonder and awe. Anytime they showed a dinosaur, there was this incredible sense of scale, of form and mass. And they really seem to be in the frame, even if the CGI wasn't as good as what you have now. That's what this movie has. It has this incredible sense of awe and this gargantuan creature. So it's a lot of fun. Catch it on Netflix before it is off Netflix. It's certainly a fun view. So enough to make me happy. Maybe it'll make you happy too. Maybe it will. Okay, I also want to show you something that came in to the studio that I was super happy about. Pam, I'm going to move my camera. Sorry, I hate to do that, but I kind of need to. Pam sent this to me. My birthday month was May. My birthday was May 17th. I was a little down. I get a little down during my birthday. Everyone who knows me knows that. She sent this along. It's a lapis lazuli, and it's a pyramid. And you guys know I love pyramids. I have my Egyptomania Inkwell, and this is a kind of a nice complement to it. So just a lovely gift from Pam. It made my day when I opened up the envelope. So this is now keeping me company on my desk with my Egyptomania Inkwell, which, by the way, is clean. I haven't filled it because I need to buy a larger bottle of Éclat de Saphir. I like to get it in 100 milliliter, and I haven't done it. So I cleaned it. It's quite clean. Look at that old-fashioned glass. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. So this is about 100 years old if you haven't seen it before. I've showed it several times on the channel. It pops up in videos. I bought it in an antique shop in Scotland. I didn't go there. I saw it online, and I couldn't let it go. It just occupied a huge spot in my imagination. I had to have it. I did a video on the Mont Blanc Egyptomania, and I did some research on Egyptomania, and this came up. And I was like, I'm not spending that much for an Inkwell. I think it was $200. And then it was about 2 months later, maybe a month later, I don't remember at this point, but I did another video on the Egyptomania, did some more research, and it was still there. And I was like, I gotta have it. And I bought it, and I really don't regret spending the money. It's really quite fine. It's quite fine workmanship. Some of the iconography is suspect. This is fairly Egyptian. Not so sure about that. But it's very cool. It's certainly earlier in the Egyptomania craze, so maybe not the most accurate. Or maybe my knowledge is lacking, which is also a possibility. A strong possibility. But so this is here, and also Yorick is here. Yorick is still here. My wife's birthday present to me, which I was super, super excited about. So beside doing the review, which we're going to get to in a few moments, there's a couple other things I'm going to cover today. One is that I am kind of going to talk about what I'm not going to talk about on the channel generally. And that is things like, well, you know what, I'll hold off on that. But we're going to cover what you won't hear on this channel to make it a nice place for everybody. Because my whole goal is always to make this channel a safe, happy place for everyone in the like traditional Mr. Rogers sort of way. Even if we do pull out the random skull now and then with the articulated jaw. I just really like this thing. We talked about St. Jerome last week. And, of course, all the Hamlet associations. But this has been on my desk at home, like a memento mori. So, quite nice. Oh, Jeff Kearns is reading Hamlet right now. Brilliant. You know, I could speak about Hamlet. I would love, someday, I have this dream of doing another YouTube channel where I get a little table and I photograph it from many sides. And I sit with maybe a professor of literature, and then maybe an actor, and we discuss Shakespeare thematically and plot-wise and historically. And I would lead the discussion because my knowledge would not be as high as theirs, but I am so passionate about the plays I know, which are a few, but certainly Hamlet's one I know pretty well. And I'm not going to. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. Well, actually, you're reading Hamlet. We'll talk about Hamlet later, but I'm just passionate about that stuff. So anyway, let's keep moving. Strict 8 says Hemingway Rogers. I do kind of have a little bit of that vibe, or at least I try to. I try not to be sardonic. I certainly try to be positive. I want this to be fun and a light place for you to go to where you don't have to worry about some of the other stuff going on in the world. This is about inspiration. It's about writing. It's about fountain pens. It's about new discoveries. Okay? That's the point. That's the point of it all. That's the thick of it. I feel like I'm missing something, but we'll make it up as we go along. Okay, let's talk now about the 2024 limited edition. The 2024 limited edition Retro 51 Coffee Time fountain pen from Goldspot, which is pretty interesting from the pictures, which I haven't actually seen it. So let's take a look. Now, one of the things I really like about Retro 51 are these fun tubes. I think it's a great way to ship a pen. It's certainly a wonderful way to store a pen, and it just makes for a nice gift. If you were to put this under a Christmas tree or some such, it's a very, very nice way to do it. Very nice indeed. You know, I need to take a minute to recognize someone, because I always appreciate the likes, guys. If you could like this and kind of upvote it so more people can join us, I'd appreciate that. I appreciate the likes, and I really appreciate the super chats. And ShackMD has started everyone with a $10 super chat from the mighty ShackMD, who has his own YouTube channel, an actual incredible, lovely handwriting and fountain pen review YouTube channel. So if you're not following ShackMD, consider it. I think it's wonderful. So follow my friend ShackMD. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for all the likes. Okay, so here we have it. It's noisy if you open it. You have to find the little spot. Usually I'm cutting these things with knives, as you know. So this is a numbered pen. So if you want one of these, you might want to get on it. From what I understand, it's really quite popular. The rollerball version did not last very long. Okay, here, I wouldn't call this ASMR, I would just call this noisy. So one of the things that's really interesting about this to me is that it's meant to look like a coffee house like chalkboard where they put their prices and everything. Ooh, here we go. This is pretty exciting. Wow, it was really in there. Some nice weight to it. This is 31.8 grams. It's a handsome pen. It's a very nice looking pen. What do you think? I think it's quite beautiful. I like the black clip. It's stainless steel, so it has some substance to it, adding up to that 31 grams. Of course, you get a number 6 Yovo nib. Now, this is where I have to remark. I always forget, does it unscrew? Yes. This is where I have to remark, and if you remember my Retro 51 video with William Morris, do you need another Yovo nib? So you have to decide that for yourself. I think the attraction here is Yovo nibs are very nice nibs. They're going to write well for you. It's going to be an enjoyable pen. It might be somewhat generic, if you will. It's just nothing you haven't felt before. But I don't think you buy this pen necessarily for the nib. I think you buy it for the pattern. I think you buy it for this amazing... It's Tracy Marcielli who did the artwork, and you can see it's got a mocha pot, which we've discussed at length. I did a video on mocha pots. It has coffee cups. I mean, it's just fun. You know, I've said this. I'm trying to remember which video I said this last. Oh, you know what it was? I was talking about the glitter pen. Pens should be fun. I know. I feel like I take myself very seriously sometimes, and I even take the whole artistic endeavor of making videos very, very seriously. How they're received, what my final product looks like when I make a video. A pen like this reminds you that this is supposed to be fun. Just lighthearted. Enjoy an interesting video that's an interesting fountain pen. Just enjoy an interesting fountain pen that's part of something that you're passionate about or you just love. Like think of this pen. And I think if we were doing this in the morning, I would have had a cup of coffee, right? So just think of it with a cup of coffee and a fun cafe inspired pen. It also would have been fun to film this at a cafe. And my local cafe is the Cafe Nero, close to where I live. I really liked her cappuccino, to be honest. So, yeah, I really like the mocha pot. But should we ink it up and see how it writes? Maybe look at some more details. This is really fun. It's a cup of coffee on the top, the finial. I really like the clip. I kind of like how stealth this is. Got like a stealth nib on it. That's super fun. I'm not sure what size he sent me, but from the feel on my finger, I'm going with a medium. So very nice. Let me also take a look at what's in the package. Oh, this is important. So this is nice. It comes with a converter. I don't think all the Retro 51 pens come with converters. I don't think my William Morris one did. So I'm kind of super excited about that because I want to fill it with the new ink that is a good contender for a dark academic ink. So here we go. Come on out. It's very shy. Very generic converter, but you know what? It'll do the job. I'm just happy it's here. I am often cannibalizing converters from other fountain pens. Not sure if you guys do that. Excuse me. Well, that's shut hard. There you go. That was really closed. Usually the ink is in here. There it is. I'm going to use these for other stuff. You know what? I can use these in my Mont Blanc Bohème. So, put this in here. Like so. Very good. Okay. Very nice. Okay. I'm not sure which number this is. It must have a number on it somewhere. Because they are numbered. But my eyesight's not great. I think you guys know this about me. I would have to investigate this with a loop to see which number it is. For me to see pretty small details, I have to go with more magnification. Oh, Joseph Brown, you're asking me which number it is. Now I gotta look. I really don't know. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to know. I thought it might be on the little card here, because I am curious about that myself, but I just don't know where the number is. But I don't think it's here. It must be on the pen somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, that was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. It's 121 of 250. So there you have it. So let it be known that 121 of 250 is Hemingway Jones's fountain pen. So I like that. I like that it's a limited edition. It's kind of fun. All right, we got our pieces. We got to put them all in the River Thames. And I'm going to show you this ink that we're going to fill it with. And you're going to see why it's dark academic in about a second. Look at this. Valenjul. All right, I know it's Warringal, but isn't it much more fun to say Varanjul, which I often say. My pronunciation is idiosyncratic on my best days. So should I stop saying Varanjul when I enjoy saying it so much when it's actually called Warringal? I probably should, but I probably won't because I'm kind of a polite contrarian. Do you remember that about me? I'm a polite contrarian. So the Call of Cthulhu, which is such a cool name for ink. Tom Oddo said I had to have this ink. He said, this is a dark academic ink. It's going to show up on one of your future lists of dark academic links. You have to have it. You have to have it. So have it I do. And I really appreciate it from him. And I might film with it again later. So I'm going to use my handy Hele knife. See how easy that is? No wrinkle, no mess. Quite like that. But look at this. I need to recognize someone. Someone helping me to keep the lights on, to keep me motivated, which I really appreciate. Under the Inkwell. By the way, I love the play on words. Awesome. Under the Inkwell. With a $2.99 super chat. Let me put it up for you. Oh, there it is. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It helps to keep the lights on, helps to keep me motivated. This time of year, YouTube gets quiet. And it's nice to see that. It definitely motivates me that you're so committed. It keeps me committed. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity. And I appreciate all the likes. I see the likes. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's get back to the task at hand, shall we? Shall we? We shall. Okay. Varanjul. Very nice. This is the problem. It will never go back as neatly as I am opening it right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to get out of the frame in case I want to use this footage later. Sometimes you got to use the footage again, and you only have one shot at it looking so pristine. So pristine as this. Is it? Ooh. Okay, so it's not shimmery, which, by the way, I'm getting away from shimmer inks. I'm getting away from them. Not saying I don't use them. I'm just saying I'm using them more infrequently. So why am I shaking it up? I really don't know. I don't know why I'm shaking it up. But it looks cool on camera. You got to admit that. So I really do like these little square jars and the cap. How easy will it be to open? I wonder. Because I'm really not sure. Now, we all know about Cthulhu and H.P. Lovecraft, right? I will admit to you, I have not read H.P. Lovecraft. I've always wanted to. I never have. I know the basic concept of Cthulhu. It's a giant, almost like a Godzilla, but more like an octopus. And it's sort of a destroyer of worlds. It's an existential threat. And I think of like Cabin in the Woods. You ever see Cabin in the Woods? One of the great horror movies of the last 15 years. That's the kind of imagery and idea I get from Cthulhu. That kind of impact. I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but it's absolutely amazing. Amazing. So, I love Under the Influence here. And Hemingway Jones whipped out his blade to the task at hand, dealing with the dark and mysterious Cthulhu. Yes, indeed. So I'm pretty excited to see this ink. So I should probably get to it, shouldn't I? Should also get some paper. Papritre. By the way, I was filming a video recently. Actually, the video that's coming out on Thursday, which is on the Omas Bologna. And I was so tongue-tied. I think you guys know I have a slight speech impediment, but I do quite well with it. And I couldn't get this word out. And I don't really know how to pronounce it in French anyway. But I said something that pretty much sounded like poopy tray. So it was like Clairefontaine poopy tray. By the way, you can see I stuck this from the Morgan Library. Remember the Dark Academic video? So this is all coming together. I filmed it at the Morgan, and this was the book I had with me. So we're using Clairefontaine poopy tray, sadly. I don't like to be vulgar, but sometimes I just am. Okay. Cthulhu is calling. I was hoping to get that aspiration. You know how sometimes you open a bottle of ink and it goes like, I love that. I love that. Ooh, Robert Koch Jr. doesn't have any shimmer inks. Now that's a bold statement because I think you are missing out a little bit on shimmer inks. Jeroban Shogun is particularly amazing. Caroux de Chypre by Jeroban, also a really good shimmer ink. Okay, so I'm going to try to fill this, and I think I'll film it. I'll try to film it pretty. Can I do that? It's never easy to film filling a pen. It's not that easy filming with fountain pens, believe it or not. They are prone to a lot of problems when you film. It's that whole Murphy's Law, that there's so many variables when you film that inevitably you're going to knock ink over, you're going to get ink on your fingers, you're going to not fill it correctly because you're concentrating on your camera angle and not on actually filling the pen. So there's a lot that can go wrong. By the way, have you all discovered the power of the shop towel? You can clean your nibs thoroughly without worrying about getting lint on them. And a towel like this can last many months. Many, many months. Hey, look. See? Now, if I were filming right now, that's what happens. I'm a messy guy. I know this about myself. And I don't try to hide it. I try my best. And I fail miserably. I know what moment did it. It just went right through the shop towel. It's not coming off. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. There's my hands. Okay. So we have this charged up. Now, one smart thing I did, this map is both inexpensive and waterproof. I did ruin, you can see I have a little ink in there. I could probably get that off. I did ruin a very expensive backdrop recently by dropping ink on it. Okay. By the way, you can post these if you want. I don't, but you can. If you're a hardcore poster, knock yourself out. Oh, sorry guys. I hate that most of all. I'm so sorry. The worst thing is to hit the camera. Okay, let's put the focus on the writing, shall we? All right, the angle's a little weird, so I'm writing kind of sideways, but not writing at all. All right, let me just do something. Sometimes I may have over cleaned it, so let me just get it started. The over clean. Oh, I like this ink. All right, I have a little bit of issues, but this is me. There's plenty of ink in there. I do like to prime it. There we go. Now from here on out, it's the pen. Okay, very nice. So kind of your usual Yovo experience. Solid, decent, nice writer. But the ink is fun. That's a tough word to spell. I think I'm probably leaving myself open to a lot of problems with the spelling if I use this. But let's have a little more fun. One of the ways that I really like to see how good a pen is and how it's being is by sketching with it. One of the ways that I find is that when you sketch with a pen, you can see whatever issue it might have. If it's slow start, if it doesn't have a consistent flow, it's going to come out in the mix. Not my best sketch. Yeah, it's pretty reliable. Pretty reliable. I like this color. It's kind of green, kind of black and green I'm seeing. What would Cthulhu look like? Kind of tentacly. I don't know. I mean, might be a little too ambitious for me to draw right now, but suctions, I think. Some kind of like scary mouth. That's kind of fun. Let's see a little bit more of the ink. So I gotta remember to do that or it's gonna get all over my map. Okay. I do have a Q-tip over here. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I should do my library. I should do my ink library entry. Let's take a look at this. Are you guys having fun? I'm enjoying this. Pots and pens. I had no idea you sketch too. More so lately. I've been sketching more and more, guys. For two reasons. One is, if I want to speak on camera, I kind of have two choices. I can write nonsense, I can scribble, or I can write something that I know really well, like a Shakespeare sonnet. Not sonnet, soliloquy. I actually don't know any Shakespeare sonnets, but I know like the Agincourt speech pretty well, or the Roy Batty speech from Blade Runner. You know, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. That kind of thing. I really want to learn the Quint speech from Jaws. So that is one of my future goals. Okay. So this is pretty good. I'm going to get rid of myself. And let's put an entry here. Oh, only myself. Hi. Ecamm's a little buggy tonight. A lot of pinwheels of death. And I've been trying to bridge my way through it with conversation. But here we go. So when I do my swatches, I do a big square and then I do a kind of a fading squiggle on the other side. And this square is really just to hold a pen up to see how it interacts with the ink, the kind of conversation it has, and to see whether or not I'd want to use it in that pen at a certain time. Some inks just jump out at you. And I like to use a lot of ink. I'm not afraid to go a little nuts with my ink library. All right. So what's nice here is that I have a pen inked up. So I'm not using a glass dip pen. And yes, I am looking at the spelling. So pretty nice. Looks pretty good on the page. I like it. I kind of like how this Yovo nib is cut too. Some of these, for lack of a better descriptive term, not being a nibsmith myself, they get sort of sharp-sided. And you almost feel like you could get line variation out of a medium. That's kind of what I'm getting here, and I really like it. It's decent. I like it. But I think if you're buying this pen, you might also be buying it for the pattern. That's a big part of it for you. And the collectability. And the fact that it has to do with coffee, which is super fun. So let's see if we can write a little more with it. I'm trying to get the light in a decent spot. Dun dun dun. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay. So I would see this as a really nice journaling ink. I don't think I'd take it to the office necessarily, but I would use it to journal. I would use it for correspondence. Anything like that. It would be really nice for holiday cards. I mean, it's kind of a dark theme for a holiday card, but I think it would be really nice. By the way, I'm writing sideways, so forgive my handwriting. So very nice. I'm going to write a little more, but I don't want you guys to have to sit through all that. But I think all in, a beautiful limited edition, fun Retro 51, a decent fountain pen. You can have a lot of fun with that. Especially if you like coffee. Do you like coffee? Is there anyone who doesn't like coffee? Let me know in the comments. I love coffee. Coffee's one of the passions of my life. So good stuff. Terry Edgington has shop towels. Hi Terry, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. Doing well. So thank you, Tom Oddo, for sending these over. Super fun gifts. I love the ink. I love the pen. I love that it's numbered, and it's really beautifully numbered. I might show you that again, the numbering, because it's quite obvious. For as much as I couldn't find it, it's really quite obvious. And by the way, on Thursdays, I don't know if this will work. Not really. Kind of. No. On Thursday's video, I set up a shot, and I want you guys to notice it. I look at the nib, or the pen, through a loop, and then I show you the loop vision. A little special effect I made. So I hope you enjoy that. It was a fun shot to set up, and if you notice it on Friday, actually I think the video is coming out on Friday. If you notice it, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So it's summer now, so I think I'm going to switch to a summer schedule and have my videos come out on Fridays at noon. I do this in the summer, and part of it is to kind of shake up the algorithm a little bit, and then come late August, September, I go back to Thursday. So I think this year you'll see this summer you're going to see videos on Friday. So this next video is on the Omas Bologna, and I go into a lot of interesting aspects. We go through the whole history of Omas very quickly. We go into some of the issues that people have with the name, and we go into the pen itself and what it's like and its design and whether or not it is worthy. Is it worthy? Maybe I should call the video, I've been agonizing over what to call the video. I've sent out samples to certain people whose opinions I really respect, and I asked them, which one do you think's good? Is it worthy's not bad, if but a little trite. But my first idea was, my Bologna has a first name, and it's OMAS. But then I realized that no one remembers that Oscar Mayer commercial from 50 years ago. So I'm showing my age on that one. But I thought it was funny. And then I think my other title was Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Omas? Which I kind of liked. But I didn't like the association of the word bad, even though bad means good. You kind of have to think about these things. But, the Omas Bologna, is it worthy? That's a decent title. Allie J says, we love your videos, no matter when they come out. I appreciate that. I really do. Allie J is one of my huge support systems. Sadly, she also has to put up with me when I'm whining. So Allie J is a saint. I just want you guys to know that. She is the best of us. So, Laura Sexton doesn't like coffee. Laura, have you been to Italy? Has anyone pushed an espresso or a cappuccino on you in Italy? That's kind of how I got into it personally, but I respect that. I did do an ink video on teas, so if you haven't seen that, please catch it. So I want to talk a little bit about, quickly I want to talk about some aspects of my videos, and then I want to talk about what we're not going to be covering on the Hemingway Jones channel. Okay? So quickly, did you guys see the top 5 purse pens video where Helen pretty much led the video? Have you guys seen it? If you've seen it, give me a like. I'd appreciate it. And by the way, whoever's watching every week and giving me the one thumbs down, you're a very, very bad person. So, Joseph Brown's, come on, everyone knows the Oscar Mayer song. Joseph, my friend. I don't know if that's true. People don't know who the Beatles are anymore. You'd be surprised. Okay. The top 5 purse pens, Helen, my beautiful wife, I had her demo a bunch of my pens and just give her opinions on how they worked with her various purses. I also asked her to match a pen with your purse. And it'll be kind of fun because we can see your purses. We can have you speaking, which is far more interesting to me. And get your take as kind of somebody who's not immersed in fountain pen culture, but who loves fountain pens and is passionate about them too, but not at all like me. To her, they're very much a tool, but she thinks they're cool and historic. Perfect for that. So I don't know if you saw it. Chris Sine saw it. I appreciate that. But the one thing I wanted to say about it, no one caught this in this video, and you really have to watch my videos with a sharp eye, and I love when people pick up on things I do. So what did you miss? However many, I think 4,000, whatever, 3,000, I don't know how many people watched that video, but what did each of you miss? The B-roll, I think it almost exclusively, if not exclusively, wasn't my hand. So that was obvious. It was Helen's hand. But what you missed was Imogen's hand was in there. So it's all Helen, and then a couple of them are Imogen. And you can clearly see that it's a 7-year-old's hand. It's adorable. and cute, and no one caught it, which I'm amazed. So go back and watch that video for Imogen's adorable 7-year-old hand. So there's that. And also this week's video on the Omas pen, please catch my special effect of loop vision, because it's probably going to become a regular thing on the channel, and I'm so proud of it. I made it myself, and after you see it, I'll tell you how I made it next week on the live. Already have a great topic for next week. Laddie Gardner, my beloved Laddie, I was just thinking about you. I was like, I haven't heard from Lad in a while. I wonder how he's doing. I miss him. And there he is with a 1999 super chat, the beloved Lad. So thank you, Laddie. You're just a prince among men. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lad is such a huge support of this channel. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. JR Diaz is asking whether or not Imogen has her own fountain pens. She does. She's got a Plaisir, and she has something else. I can't remember. But please do catch her little cute hands. They're adorable. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about what's never going to be on this channel, okay? So I posted a short about King Charles III, who granted his royal warrant to the Parker Pen Company, because to me it was interesting from an academic point of view as a fountain pen person. He can certainly choose whomever he wishes to endorse. I don't even think it has to be an English company anymore. It's 2024. He can do whatever he wants. And I believe if you look at the list of royal warrants, they're not all English. So it was interesting to me that he picked Parker, which is the pen company that his mother used, and not the one that he's known for using. He has a custom Mont Blanc of some sort. It's kind of like a solitaire, and it looks very pretty. I'd like to recognize Paul David Artist Club with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you for help keeping the lights on. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Delighted to have you here. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. So when I put that up, there are the inevitable political comments. Now, fortunately, it's not my politics. I am not a UK resident, although my wife is, technically. She has permanent UK residency. But I do not. I'm an American citizen, as you probably all know from my voice. Okay. But it does remind me of the fact that we are coming into an election year. Everyone's passionate. Everyone has strong opinions. I respect that. I have my own strong opinions. You guys will never know what they are. That's what I'm telling you about this channel. There won't be any politics on this channel of any sort. I mean, when it comes to the monarchy, I don't think that anyone is elevated above anyone else. I don't look up to anyone. I am a bit of an egoist, and I don't recognize any power greater than my own. So I do not look up to figures. I respect offices. I wouldn't be disrespectful if I met someone, but I would never bow to anyone ever. So, but I'm an American. That's who we are. That's what we do. And I mean no disrespect to those that are bowed to. I'm just not going to do it. And that goes for anyone. Dalai Lama, whomever. So, I'll shake their hand like a gentleman. So, politics, not here. In my own personal world, sometimes I have political opinions. That's my world. Hemingway Jones channel, you're not going to see it here. I want this to be a place away from all that. Our little oasis. And we've been saying since the very beginning, I've been saying since the very beginning, it's our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling. I don't see myself as anything other than someone who's on a journey to learn all I can about fountain pens. And I don't share those kinds of opinions. I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about politics. I'm old-fashioned in that way. Have your own thoughts. Read everything you can. Be a good person. And make friends. Make friends here. There's lovely people here. It's a fantastic community here. The Illuminati Cognoscenti members are fantastic. The ambassadors are fantastic. The regular viewers are fantastic. The commenters are fantastic. All those of you that I see at pen shows, like I'm about to go to the DC pen show, I've had wonderful experiences meeting everyone. I don't want politics to ever divide us. So you won't hear it here. It stops out there. This is a different world. We are inky here. We are covered in ink. Okay? So I just want to make that very, very clear in case anybody was worried that you'd get lectured in any way, shape, or form from me, or that I would even presume that I would tell you who to support or what to think or what to believe. I don't even do that with fountain pens, so I'm certainly not going to do it with that. I just love to share this hobby with you guys. So that's where my passion lies. And I just wanted to mention it because I see it in the comments occasionally. So we're gonna keep that under wraps. So we have a fantastic video this week, guys. The Omas Bologna, generously sent to the channel by Frank Zhang, who it's just been a lovely support of the channel. It's my second Omas. I have the Ogiva as well. I had a blast making a video with it. There are times I really have fun making videos. And there are ones coming up, you guys. There is one coming up that is so niche and so nerdy that I would be surprised if 1,000 people watch it. And I feel like that's kind of my base, like you guys, the passionate people. But I'd be very surprised. It's so nerdy. I can't wait to tell you what it is. But it actually has a really important discovery in it. A fountain pen discovery that was the result of research that I did. Very, very in-depth research. And I discovered something. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm kind of a jerk that way. So forgive me. But when it comes out, you're going to be like, that's what he's talking about. This is so nerdy. And I love it. I love it. It's so nerdy. I'm so passionate about it. I love it. I think you guys will love it too. I also did a really fun video on the Lamy Safari with the history of the Lamy Safari. And I do a lot of history now. I'm more interested in history, heritage, design than just doing a review. A lot of these reviews are typical. I mean, even this pen, I love this pen that it's limited edition. I love that Tom gave it to me. I love the design. But beyond that, it's a Retro 51. It's a Tornado. It has a Yovo nib. You guys know what this pen is. You know what it is. How much do you need to hear from me? It's a nice pen, though. I probably won't own it for long. I could see this one heading in my wife's direction. So that's kind of how my ownership of pens go. They go from me to my wife often. So anytime it's super fun like this one. But there you have it. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more really interesting historical and design-centered things. I think the one area where we have, as a community, have been lacking a little bit in regards to fountain pens is not celebrating the designers that have brought them to us. So I want to try to incorporate that when I can. A lot of videos and brands, they don't tell you. So it's not as out there. It's not as easy to ascertain as some other passions. Most watches you can figure out who designed it. If a famous watch designer, for instance. But fountain pen designers are fewer. So, there we have it. Joseph Brown likes the look of the Omas and some other releases, but I'm buying hold until the DC show. That might not be a bad strategy. I will be at the DC show Friday and Saturday, and maybe for a bit Sunday morning. I'll certainly still be in the hotel. I am Looking forward to seeing you all. I'm going to make a meetup spot somewhere, probably at a bar, but details will emerge as we get a bit closer. But I definitely will be there, and I'll be in Washington before. So please, if you're in the area, introduce yourself. I'd really love to meet you. And then we have the Commonwealth Pen Show coming up in Somerville, weekend of September 14th. I'll be there as well. And there'll be fewer people there. It'll be easier to find me. So feel free to come out to the Commonwealth at all. So it'll be very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I like this. Aris Aurelian says, and I think this is to Joseph Brown, may the gods of the DC show be with you all. I like that. I like it. Ollie J says, bar meetup sounds great. Yes, indeed. Manhattans. That's what I've been drinking lately. When I drink very little. I do. Maybe 1 or 2 cocktails a month. Been very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this hour flew by. I do try to keep it to an hour. I don't want to go. I'm like the 10th Doctor. I don't want to go. But it's time for me to regenerate. And I will return as myself, same face, next Tuesday night with an interesting Grail pen topic. We're back to Grail pens. The Grails are re-emerging. They're closing in. What can I do? I have to go and follow my heart. So do watch my new video when it airs this Friday on the Omas Bologna. I would appreciate it. I would indeed appreciate it. But okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Further up the road. Take care of yourself. Thanks.